we still don't want people to miss it. Okay, well, good evening. We're about to share some techniques and some just some strategies or some mindset or whatever you want to share as a leader. And I want to start by saying that, okay, would everybody please mute themselves? Let me see if I can make sure that everybody is muted. Somebody just said something on the call. Okay, please make sure you're muted so we don't interrupt the call. Okay. All right. One of the things that a policy that I live by, and because I always tell people when I tell my stories that when we got into this business, it really wasn't about the money. We know that money is always going to be associated with a business like this. But that was not the reason my husband and I joined the company. We joined the company because we had our hands on something. Let me back up a minute. I've always wished that I could heal. When you go to church and you see somebody lay their hands on somebody, I always wish I could heal somebody or just touch somebody and just help them. It just bothered me to see people in pain because years ago I had a chronic illness myself. There was no cure for it, but God miraculously healed me. God had favor on me and miraculously healed me. And I just have a passion. I just feel it when people are in pain. So when we heard about this patch and we saw what he was doing, it was like we had to do it. And that's why I share it with so many people. That's why I help so many people on my team. So my thing is that I want to help as many people as possible. If I help you as a teammate in whatever kind of way it is, whether it's with a Zoom call, whether it's a three-way, whether it's a welcome call, which is one of the most important tools that you can use when you bring a new partner on. You need to do that. This is my tip, okay? Do the welcome call because that is when, number one, you can introduce a person to somebody else above them that can, or above you that can help them. And also it is going to give you the opportunity to find out what do they want. Did they get into this business just to use the product and hopefully help themselves? But what I really want to encourage you to do when you are welcoming a new partner, just say, listen, do you have anybody in your family? Just ask them. Is there anybody in your family that that's dealing with something, whether it's diabetes, high blood pressure? There's somebody in everybody's family with some of those issues. And what you want to do is ask them, can you write those names down and let us help you expose this technology to them? Because a lot of people don't like the word SELL, sell. That turns people out. And a lot of times they look at what we do is selling. We're not selling, we're telling. And therefore you want to put it in a way where they're willing to share. Okay, so all we're doing is sharing and telling, and this is why you're out with testimonies. So that's one of the things that I live by is I work very, very hard on a daily basis only because I'm trying to help so many people. I may not be the strongest recruiter like some of you all. Some of you all run rings around me when it comes to recruiting. But I bet you won't outrun me when it comes to helping people and working deep in my organization to help people reach their goals. You won't run me out of that because that's one thing that I do. And so what I want to do is I want to introduce you to some of the most prominent leaders on our team who I have a whole lot of respect for. And the first person I want to ask to come on is a person I've known, probably about 20 something years now, maybe 20 years. No, not quite 20 years, maybe 17 years. And she works a full-time job. She's very busy, but she always makes time, I find, to help her team. And she is one of the most knowledgeable people. She's very resourceful, always offering information that she's what you call an urchin, one of those people that is always researching. And you ask her something, she always knows the answer. But I don't know what she wants to share tonight, but I'm going to ask her to come on and share something that what she lives by. What does she do with her team to make her successful? She's out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, and her name is Linda Giles. I bet she doesn't know I was going to call her first, but Linda Giles, can you please come on, share your camera, share a tip or whatever you want to talk about tonight with the team?
Hi, Verdita, and thank you for calling on me. And I am having a problem with my camera. I have logged off, logged back in, and I don't know what's
Well, I
going
know, well,
on.
first of all, I want y'all to know Linda is a techie, so if she says she can't do it, she's true. But we get to see your beautiful picture anyway, though. Thank you, Linda.
Yes, I'm so sorry. But anyway, thanks for the opportunity and thanks for being the incredible leader that you are. You reach out and help all of us. I mean, it doesn't matter what the problem is, you're there and you jump on and work to get it handled. And so you set the goal and you lead by example. And so it's a pleasure to be a part of this community. And one of the things that is very important for me when someone, um, whether they're a customer or whether they're a brand partner, joins the team, and it doesn't matter where they are, I'm going to reach out to them, follow up with them, make sure if it's a brand partner that they've logged into their back office and go through where all of the information is so that they can be successful because I will go into someone's back office, trying to help them, and I see they've never even logged in. So whoever got them started didn't go through that process. And it is very important to know what tools you have and where all the information is. I think that it's important that we also make ourselves available for anyone on the team, especially people who are really interested in moving their business forward, whether you directly sponsor them or not. When they raise their hand, I'm going to be there to support them in whatever way I can, trying to make sure that they have all the information on the calls. I know that some people probably receive the messages directly from Steve or someone else, but they will send me a message. Hey, do you have the information on the call? So I set up a Facebook group so I can post different things in that group, different testimonies that I find inspiring or things that I know people can use. Or if someone asks me, for a particular testimony or something like that, I'll post it in the group so everybody has access to it. I think that it's very important to not only be committed to a clear mission, but committed to the team that you have, because for me, this is more than just a business, it's a family. And if we help one person win, everybody wins. Another thing that I do, I have some different ways of looking for new people to share this opportunity with. So I do a lot of following different ads sometimes on Facebook. Somebody put something out there about stem cell injections or something, and I'll throw a message out there. I'm so glad I found this system, didn't have to spend this money, really works for me and other people that I care about. And I may jot a few things that have happened for me, and I posted in that group, and a lot of people will start hitting me up. Tell me about what you're talking about. And so I will go and do individual messages to that person. And I share that technique with my team only because there's a whole lot of business out there for everyone. And when people say, I can't find anyone, first of all, there are people that are looking for what we have. And it's very important that you understand the value of what you have because there will be opportunities that present itself that will help you to help others. And, leading with your own testimony or the testimony of someone else, being real, don't over exaggerate. We talk about those kind of things all the time. And then we do different events. And so I, set up certain things when I'm doing an event to collect names and information on people. I have a drawing and I have a form for them to fill out. And that form includes what their health issues are, as well as how to contact them. And so when someone tells me they're doing an event, I walk through with them what I do and what has worked for me. Because again, if you help one person win, we all win. Those are just some of the things that I do. Like Verdita said, I work a full-time job and it's a very busy job, but I do make sure that the people that I'm working with on this team know that they have my attention when they need it. And I thank God for my husband because sometimes I get calls all times of night and he just goes, okay, because he knows how important this is for all of us. So thank you for Dita for allowing me to share, and I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Wow, Linda, thank you so much, y'all. This is fun. I like hearing from all of you all. You heard all the stuff Linda said. I mean, she said some powerful stuff. I forgot to tell you, please take notes because she said some stuff that we just don't think about. Make sure, like she said, you walk your new person through their back office, even though there's an ebook in the back under resources that tells you everything you need to know. People just won't read it. But if you're there with them, they're going to see it. So thank you, Linda, for sharing that powerful information. The next person I'm going to ask to come on is out of the New Jersey area. And this gentleman, I got a chance to meet him back in, when did I meet him? September, I believe it was, when we took a trip up there and I got a chance to meet him and his lovely wife. But one thing about him, I know that he has, there she is, there's Linda. But and you can stop your video now because on my end, I see you. Okay, thank you, Linda. So Derek Hawkins is a born leader and he has years and years of experience, and he seems so organized to me. To me, I mean, just by looking in and just things he does, I would just like you to come on, Derek, and share a tip or two of what you do to lead your team.
Great. Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear and see you.
Thank you, Vidita. Appreciate the opportunity to share. And just want to say it's a pleasure to be on a team full of leaders. One of the things I appreciate about being part of this team is in the last opportunity of business that I was in, I would be equivalent to doing what maybe Steve and Gina were doing. They set up everything, they had all the meetings, and they were pretty much running it. So it was like nonstop. But to be a part of a group where you have Steve and Gina at the helm, you have Ken and Lynn Robertson, you have Radita and Harvey, then you have Erica McQueen, you have people like Lester Berry, Z Kendrick. I mean, I can name all the people that are participating. There's so many leaders on here that you can really spend more time building and having success. And that's what I'm being able to do. And one of the things I do is I use every Zoom opportunity as if it was my own personal Zoom meeting. So when I'm inviting people, I let them know that sometime I'll change their name in the invite and say, I'm hosting a launch, and I represent, I'll mention the names of the leaders that are speaking on the call. Another thing that I do to keep my team engaged, and I do what I call a team huddle. And I just started it. And what I do is usually on Sunday around 7ish, since there's nothing else happening, I'll host a meeting to get together and we'll go over, some of the basics. I'll do one meeting, I'll go over the benefits of the compensation plan and really do like a deep dive into how it works. Another call I did, I actually showed them how to use the InTouch app. That's very useful because I'll run into someone and if they give me their number right away, I can literally go into the app and send them a video immediately. Another thing I like to do is when I'm having conversation with people, I listen to what they say ails them, and I'll find one of the testimonies and send them a testimony that's directly linked to what they're talking about. I add some credibility to what they're doing. So again, those are some of the things I do with the call. And one of the things I'm persistent with inviting people, and and if I don't have anybody on, I'll go back to some of the people who I've invited in the past until they told me I'll reach stalking status. Then I'll leave them alone. But until they tell me no, I will continue. In fact, I have a gentleman on, he's a leader on, in fact, now he's a leader in his own right. And he can probably attest to the fact that I've probably been inviting, sending an invitation to him probably for 6 months, but I knew he was a quality leader. And at some point, if he saw what we had to share, and if he did participate, I knew, I would have another leader on board. So those are some of the things I do, just stay persistent, and then keep my team engaged. And again, those are just one or two of the tips I like to do. But again, I promote every event, no matter what it is. There's always that next event, so I'm constantly promoting from one event to the next, to the next, to the next. And so those are a couple of things I do, Bedina.
Well, thank you, Derek, for sharing. And I tell you, Derek, it's not a call that I get on that I don't see you on here. So you're so right. I mean, you're very supportive of everything we do, but you lead by example. And I like the idea of you, when you have your team huddle, you try to introduce a different theme for your team to learn every time. That's one of the things I try to do as well. So I appreciate all of that, and hope to see you again soon, Derek. All right. So the next person I want to ask to come on is going back and forth, in town, out of town, in town. Okay. This person is in Atlanta, and this person happens to be very close to me. She's actually my little sister, and she has had years and years of experience in the network marketing industry. She's very bright. I call her a rocket science because she was an aerospace engineer. So she tends to be very technical. And I like to always ask her all these technical questions, but I'm not sure what she's going to share about tonight. But Juanita Craft, do you mind coming on and share a tip or two with the team?
Want to see me?
Yes, I can.
All
Hey
righty
there.
then. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to share, but one of the things that I started doing recently, and I think it's very effective, is I started a WhatsApp group, and I've been able to add a lot of people in, and actually team members can add people into it. So I can paste calls in there. I can find, if I find a really good testimonial, I can put that in there. If I find a protocol for, some certain ailment, I can put that in there. And people, and they don't have to get on social media, don't have to log into social media, because everybody's not on Facebook. And one thing I found for myself is that if I have to go on Facebook to find some information, I probably won't find it. I'll probably forget about it. But that WhatsApp seems to be more convenient for me. And so I've been able to, I guess, reach more people by creating a WhatsApp group. And then also I have a text message app that's called, what's it called? It's called Hit 'em Up. And, I put like my personal enrollment, rolling people. And I had this app before I did the WhatsApp, but if I want to send out a text message directly to somebody, I put them in my Hit 'em Up, and it'll send a text message directly to them without not being a group. It'll send it directly to them so that they don't, but if they respond, they don't respond to, a whole lot of people. So that's how I communicate. And, communication is key. But the main thing that I try to do is I try to be the leader that I would like. So many times people complain, well, that's leader, they don't do this, they don't do that, I don't like the way they do this. And, they always got something negative to say. But I know how difficult it can be to lead, and, trying to, live your life and do your job and all of that. And so I just tend to say, well, you know what would I want my leader to do? And so then I try to be that leader. And it just basically keeps you humble, to realize that we're all human. We're not Eric Worre's and all these, we don't call ourselves, leader gurus or anything like that. We're all doing the very best that we can. So I try to just make sure that I'm the leader that I expect others to be. Now, as far as reaching people and reaching new people, I've been working the polls lately, and every other day from I get up at 4:30 and I'd be there at 6 and work to like 7, so like 13-hour days. But I meet new people, and if you ever go to vote, most of the people there are women over the age of 60. Most of them are retired. And so I'm meeting a lot of really nice, professional, retired people. And they're very much educated and, made some really, really good friends. But those are people that I'm sharing with and, just introducing the patches to. So I always try to find somewhere to go rather than just sitting at home trying to looking up people on Facebook or whatever. I would like go someplace and that your friends are gonna be. Invite some friends out. I'm going to brunch on Sunday. It's my birthday. But just get out of the house and find somewhere to go to meet new people. So that's all I got, Verdita.
Well, thank you, Juanita. And that is such a good idea to talk about just going somewhere. Now, a lot of times people say, well, I don't want to go, but yeah, look at what may happen if you go somewhere. But I want to ask you a question about that hit 'em up, because I understand what the hit 'em up is, but the way you explained it, I'm not sure if everybody understood it. Juanita said you can send it to one person, but the hit 'em up is the way she's sending it to, if I'm correct, you're sending it to your whole team. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm sending it to my team.
But when they get the message, you don't see everybody else's name attached. They think it's just sent to them directly.
Yeah.
And if they do, and then if they do respond to you, it doesn't go to all those people, correct?
Nope. Right.
That's a great. So hit them up and tell them a little bit more than something like $6 a month or something.
Well, I pay by the year. I think it's, I don't remember, $49 or $50 a year, but it's worth it to, if you're not doing anything with it, it may not be worth it. But for me, because I'm running a business, it's worth it to me because I can't remember in each individual, you know what I'm saying? So I add them to the app. And so I create groups. So, I even have a group for my choir. I have a group for different things. And so once you add that person to the group, anytime you want to send something out to the group, you just put the message in. And the people in the group, it actually, you send it to each person individually. If you want to delete or not send it to a certain person, you can just cancel that person and skip it and go to the next.
Good idea. So I hope y'all are getting these nuggets, y'all. And thank you, Anita. I'll see you on your birthday.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So the next, I'm going out of town again now because I'm going to go to Dallas, Texas, because this person I want to introduce you to is someone that my husband and I met probably back in 2009 or something like that. I think it was. We were in a company called Artists International, and I always admired him because he was so intelligent and just really sharp individual. He was making a lot of money, and he always is very thorough. That's one thing I like about him. He is so thorough. And every time he explains stuff, and he's very resourceful. So I want to introduce you to someone, again, a network marketing legend, Mr. Lester Berry. Can you?
Hey, good evening, Verdita. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, first of all, let me just say good evening to all the leaders and all of the team members. And I first of all, I do appreciate the information that I've been taking notes here. Juanita, I'm probably going to give you a call to get a little bit more information about that. Hit 'em up. But anyway, thanks again, Verdita, for the opportunity to share. One of the things that and I do this not just for me, but I do it so that hopefully everyone on the team, as a new team member comes on the team, kind of begin to duplicate what I do, because this business is all about duplication. And some of the things that I do, I think everyone does. I do the welcome calls, and doing the welcome calls is really kind of a way of qualifying, if you will. Is one of the ways that I look at it, is really qualifying that individual to find out, what is it that they want? you know, what are their goals? What are their income goals? You know, do they want to, you know, like I know I've heard Vidita ask this question many, many times. So it's effective. So I asked the question, do you want to build fast? You know, do you want to build a business fast? And, you know, one of the things that, you know, in asking these types of questions, you know, as you get the feedback, you begin to, you know, I'm already all in, so to speak. I'm committed, you know, to kind of meet you wherever you are. And, you know, if you're wanting to build fast, you know, from that welcome call, you know, we'll be able to determine if you're really ready to go, because, you know, one of the next steps is obviously going to be to either schedule a lunch call, to schedule a conference call. And it'll kind of be from a perspective of, you know, if they're able to gather, you know, it may be a group that they're involved with. And you know, there may be several members of that group. I've got a group that's a lady that recently signed up, and I've been working with her. She's in the process of scheduling. She lives in a senior living facility, and she's got a number of people there. We're putting out the information so that I can come in and do a presentation and patch some people while we're there, and, you know, get the opportunity exposed, and who knows, we may wind up with customers. Who knows what we'll want, but it's activity. It's income producing activity. And one of the other things that I really stress in each individual that I speak with, especially those that are serious about building, is I want to see when, you know, are they committed to putting some time into this? How much time are they willing to commit? You know, is it 5 hours a week? Is it 15 hours a week? Whatever time that they said that they're willing to commit, you know, keeping in mind that we all are building this business pretty much part-time. And I say that even though a lot of you may think that, okay, well, I'm all in, I'm full-time, but, you know, really, when you think about it, I mean, at the highest success that I've had, I still looked at the number of hours that I really put in, and I've really, compared to a full-time job, I worked this business part-time, and I was still able to have success. But if a person is willing to commit that time to accomplish some goals and accomplish some things, you know, we can get a lot done. You know, it really don't take a whole lot of time. You can allocate a 30 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes a day. If you do that, say for 3 or 4 days, 30 minutes a day, 4 days, that's only 2 hours. So if a person has committed to 10 hours of work, of activity during the course of the week, you know, even if they commit to two lunch calls, average lunch call is, you know, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, if that long. And so we can get a lot done if a person is committed to building their business and they're willing to commit the time to it. You know, what I find sometimes is that, you know, as we go through it, I get them plugged in to Z on the Monday night basic training, and for them to follow a system, and they make the list and they begin to call people. And even though I've kind of one of my mentors called it loading their lip. And what I mean by loading their lip is practicing a script with them to a degree, but I try to get it to the point that they have it where it's conversational for themselves. So it doesn't seem like they're reading a script. But if they can get beyond the nose, and some people, like I said, it's all a matter of allowing them to follow the script and not give too much information. I mean, some people, they just, but it's, it's a learning process. But, my thing is again, I do, and I did this, and I think I asked you about it, and I shared this with you, Verdita. I created a WhatsApp group some time ago because, sending out text to the organization, and a lot of times, as your organization begin to grow exponentially, the message is not getting down to all of the people. And so I created that WhatsApp group also, just like Juanita said, and a lot of information that I put in there, but as far as information for the team, but it's kind of a combination of what Linda said and what Juanita said. I do a little research, and some of the information that I'm privy to, and it's not that I'm privy to, I've joined different groups, and some of the testimonials that they share about products, different patches, because I do share information about some of the other patches, because one of the things that I do want them to grasp is using the other products. And in using the other products, it is more likely to keep them on their auto ship. Okay. So one of the things that I've done, I'm in the gym now, and I'm meeting more and more people at the gym. When you join a gym, first of all, a lot of times people are a little bit hesitant to kind of, really let their guard down, so to speak. But they've seen me in the gym often enough, and we've talked, and so it's beginning to pay off. Sampling, picking up customers mostly, but it's beneficial. And so those are the things that I'm doing, Verdita, and thank you for allowing me to share. Hopefully someone got a nugget or two.
Well, absolutely, Lester. Thank you for that information. As we keep going through this, do you see why this is so important, you guys? One of the things I picked up from what Lester said is basically he's establishing that this is a partnership. When he brings a new person on, he's letting them know this is a partnership. What do you want out of this? See, if you don't know what a person wants, you don't know how to work with them. And that's why I said that welcome call or even orientation call with you personally, when you're, like Linda says, going through their back office, that's more like an orientation call. But you've got to find out what that person wants. And if they don't know what they want, ask them to think about it for a minute, because you got to know, if we're going to have a partnership, we need to know how we're going to work together. And being consistent, he talked about putting just even if you just put a little bit of time in every day. The whole thing is be consistent. Don't just, you brought people on this team, and for you to just disappear and they never hear from you, or you don't ever, you know what I mean? You can send a text, that's one thing, but to actually hear from you is a whole nother story. So I appreciate you sharing that information, Lester, and we're going to keep it going because we want to try to keep this under an hour. I'm going back to Atlanta now, and I want to introduce you all to someone that is also very, very close to me. She is my best friend, and she is very active in this business. I mean, she talks to no strangers. You better not be hanging around her because she's going to be talking to everybody. So Miss Robin Clark, can you please come on and share some tips with everybody?
Okay, I think I'm in the mix. Hello,
Yes, you
everybody.
are.
I'm on my iPad, so it's a little strange, but I appreciate everything. I'm taking notes from all the other leaders, and I appreciate the tips. I mean, I really, really do. I'm just going to give you all a personal testimony. I come from a whole different industry. I'm by profession, I'm a jazz singer, musician, write music, and I just love my music field, right? But I also love having communication with people. I love working with people. I really, really do. I mean, some can be a little complicated at times, but I enjoy working with people and helping people. One of the strengths that I know that I have is communication. And not only could I communicate through music, but I love to communicate with people, get to know people, get to know what their situations are. So I think communication is the lifeblood of any connection, and I know that's what sustained me in my marriage of 41 years. We've been able to communicate on all levels. But also, not just communication, let's talk about listening. Listening is one of those things that, it's kind of overlooked. It's an overlooked skill, but we have to learn how to listen to our team, our people that we're bringing on board. What do they want? We talk about it when we show the slides, the presentation slides. What are you looking for in this business? Are you looking for the time freedom? Are you looking for to make the money? And so when we ask those questions, but are we really listening to the people as we bring them on board? Some people are not looking to try to make it to the top position really fast, but they definitely need an extra $100 a week or an extra $500 a week. And so we talk big numbers sometimes to people, and maybe somewhat threatening or make them feel uneasy. And then some people have had such crazy experiences in network marketing that they feel like they've never made any money. So if you can put just a little extra money in their pocket, and we get paid weekly too. So if you can put an extra few hundreds of dollars in their pocket a week, you've got a great person off to a wonderful start. So I feel like I'm going to listen to my people. I'm going to understand what their goals are and try to show up for them and be accessible for my team. Sometimes to a fault, because my husband will say, "Are you taking another call this late?" But I like to be able to be accessible to my team, within those guidelines, and also to tell my team to be resilient. Resiliency in this business is everything. We're going to get more no's than we get yeses. And so, but as you do the business, and we've got people now coming on board that have never done network marketing before. And so they feel like, oh my goodness, my family is telling me no. But you have to understand that you're going to get the no's, especially from the family and friends. But let's just keep working it till we get to the yes. We've got a product that proves itself, right? So we know that. So leading by example is another thing. And one of my strong points, I feel like I tell my team every day, I'm walking out the house and I've got my patches with me. And as Verdita said, I'm not letting anybody getting within a few feet of me and not being able to strike up a conversation. I mean, I'm going to find a way to talk to you about something. And then from that, I'll tell you what business I'm in. Okay. So being consistent. And another key factor for me is the follow-up. We can be out all day with these patches, but I tell my team, if we're not making those follow-up calls, it doesn't matter. And once you make those follow-up calls, make sure you try to get me plugged in on a three-way with you, or we'll go directly up to Verdita and get her on the call. But it's most important that we do our three ways and edify our upline. That's most important. So, I mean, everybody else covered some great points, like I said, using more social media. But I do believe that the lifeblood of what I do in my business is developing strong relationships. And I do feel like I've got a team of a family. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for allowing me to share, Verdita.
Well, thank you, Robin. You said some great things. And the only thing I wanted to just add on to what Robin said, she talked about edifying. Not just edify your upline, edify each other. So when you get on a three-way call with someone, you want the person who is the prospect to feel that they're partnering with a quality person, that you got to say this person is really knowledgeable, they're so committed, all those types of things. So the person will feel good about partnering with them. So thank you for all those things you said, Robin. And we're going to keep it moving because it's getting late. I'm going back out of town now. Just got back from North Carolina last Friday. Actually, it was Friday evening by the time we got back. And what got us to North Carolina was a beautiful lady by the name of Miss Gwen Millsap. Now, Gwen, you can come on and share your camera and video, but let me tell you more about Gwen. Gwen does have a background in network marketing, and she's just on fire about this business and this patch. I'm going to let you go ahead and take the floor, Miss Gwen. And by the way, Gwen hit director in what, like 7 or 8 weeks?
Yes.
I think so. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say, I feel honored to be able to come into this conversation with the legends that seems like that I'm hearing. You guys are on fire, and I've got so many notes, I don't know what to do with them. And I'm new to the team, just got in a couple months ago, but I am excited. And the thing about me, I asked, could I get in and do this business because I was at a patch party or a business meeting where this patch was introduced. But with my team, I started off fast because I was running on excitement. I didn't have a clue, didn't know anything. I just knew that patch went on my body, and I lost all the pain, went out of my body. And I came home and put it on my husband, and it was like a miracle. The things that his body experienced, no snoring, able to get off of his cane and walk without it, and neuropathy leaving his body, on and on. So I had a story to tell, and that's what I do. I pray and patch. I have no problem with that. I went to my vision care where I get my glasses done. I went in and patched everybody that was there that day, and I asked them if I could video them to make a small video, and I use those. I pass them around to my group, and I check in with my group regularly, and I try to listen to what they're saying because I'm new, they're new, so we kind of help each other. And I want them to know that I'm not the answer, but or the solution, but I can get you the answer, and I will get you the solution because Verdita has taught me well. That's my mentor. We were divinely connected, and I'm holding on for dear life because we have done some great things because of me going to her and three-way calls. She taught me that. So now I do three-way calls with my team. It's nothing for us to get together and do a quick patch party. I go and we get 3 or 4 people, ever how many we can get in our house. We patch everybody. And seeing is believing. And I let my team know I'm not going to tell you anything to do that I don't do. So I want to lead by example. I learned that from Verdita. And if I don't know the answer, I call and get one and get them on three-way so they can hear it also. But I know when people hear and touch and feel this patch, when they feel what it does to their body. I don't sell. Like Verdita says, we tell. But I've seen some people that today I went to a woman's home and she wanted a sleeve, and it's good to keep some on hand. And she said she had 3. She used those 3 on her mother-in-law who has dementia. And when I walked in the house and this lady was about in tears, and she said to me, she called my name, Jean, for the first time since she's been with me in over a year. That right there is a testimony within itself from the patches that she put on her. And so I want people to know, I want my team to know they can reach me at any time. And when we get together or when we're talking, I listen to them. Because like I say, we're all learning here new together. And when I go out to meet someone else and I contact a prospect and they say that they're interested, I patch them. I stand right there and let them text me on their number, and I give them mine because the young lady before me just said you want to follow up. Well, if they don't have your number in the phone, they may think you're a telemarketer and they may not pick up. So it's very important that you take a minute to exchange numbers so that your name will show up when you call that person. And I mean, I'm just so excited. I guess my team runs off of my adrenaline, and we got some more in there like me. So it's a good thing. But we do the three-way calls, and I try to help them as much as I can. But like I say, I'm new. So when I don't know, I call Verdita. I get the answer for them, because you don't want to be everything that they need. You want them to go and learn like you did, to search for things. And that's what me and my daughter Angela, that was the first person I signed up. We had to go in the back office. We had to learn it. I do help them, but I try to tell people, get in there, look around and study and learn, because if you have to find it, you won't forget it. But if I tell you, I'm going to have to tell you again the next time. So that's basically what I do. We have patch parties, we have fun, and people love it. When they taste this patch is what I call it, and see what it does for them, Verdita. You don't have to sell. You just have to tell. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity just to say a few words. And I have got so many notes. This is exciting. Thank you, and I appreciate you.
It is exciting. You know, I hope y'all caught this, that Gwen talks about patching. And, you know, that's one thing I remember about her. She'd always be, it could be 9 o'clock at night. And I'm calling her for some reason. And she goes, well, me and Angela, we're on our way to a patch party. And it wasn't, and she treats a patch party not like something that was planned. See, this is what I want y'all to understand. If somebody's at their house and they just happen to have some family members on, she's on her way. Because as far as she's concerned, that's an opportunity to patch some people. So, but I want to say this about Gwen, and the reason I wanted Gwen to talk, she's one of our newer, leaders on the team. She signed up December 8th, but she and 2 other people on her team are already directors. Gwen is really like right at senior director. She has the volume. It's just 1 or 2 people that not get their structure together. And Gwen would be senior director, but there's 2 other directors on her team and 1, 2, 3, 6 managers. That is amazing. And so Gwen, we want to congratulate you. And she's just somebody that I'm just really proud of. And I want you all to, we always want to, congratulate 3 of your uplines on this call. Gwen, I tried to get, I think it was Tim Jacobs is one of you. You've had a conversation with Tim. Larice Rivers is one of your uplines. She's on this call. And of course, Juanita Kraft. These are all in one leg, you guys. That's what we mean by working together. So congratulations again, Gwen, and thank you so much. We've got one more person that we got to hear from tonight. And last but not least, I know she's been at her son's basketball game and she's probably maybe still in her car, but she's on the call. And this lady, you hear from her quite often. She's a very eloquent presenter, but she has, they made a lot of money in this industry, but I know that she's very, is always searching for more information and stuff. And she's always sharing with me some of the things she's found out and some of the things she's done. So I want you all to hear from none other than Miss Erica McQueen. Erica, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can. Hello there.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a great week so far. I heard so many great tips on this call. It was really just very refreshing, and just to see that we have such incredible leaders is just wonderful. And that's one of the reasons why I chose this business, is because, I think it's important who you surround yourself with. And obviously we've surrounded ourselves with some real winners. So I really am excited about that. What I was going to talk today about was team building and communication, team building and communication, I guess I should say that. And so the one thing I want to say is that we all know that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And one of the biggest issues with network marketing is attrition. People getting started, getting excited, and then later kind of falling off. And one of the things that you can do to really let people know when they come into the business that you're there for them is to really get to know them. And you hear that a lot in network marketing. They said you should see, and years ago they would say that it's important that you know the person's carpet color, because basically they're saying you should spend time with this person. And even though we're not doing that now, it's extremely important that you get to know what's going on. I've called people that were busy doing the business, but I just called to check in on them only to find out that a family member died, or to find out that they're going through a divorce, or finding that something happened to their car or their dog or their child. I've had people tell me that an animal died. They're very depressed. I've heard people tell me that they just came back from 3 funerals in their family. And so it's very important that you know what's going on in your team so that you can give them a little space sometimes, but give them some love and give them some support, but just to let them know that you, in fact, hold on. You really have to let them know that. So,
Okay, you
sorry
just
about that.
muted yourself.
That's okay. That's okay. So, yeah, I have some people in my house that talking kind of loud. I had to ask them to be quiet for a second. So anyhow, so that's very important that you get to know your team. And so you have to check in with them regularly if you want to do that. Okay. So I have a goal of talking to at least 3 people a day, 3 people from the team a day, just to see how they're doing, see how things are going, see if they need support. I also learned really important pieces of information about new people that they've brought in, new people that they're bringing in, and what their objectives and their goals are. And it's very informative. And then we can also set launch calls once we make those calls as well, and also help them to overcome issues that they may be having. People won't tell you little things that happen where maybe 2 teammate members fell out, or, stuff like that happens, guys. It just happens. Where maybe, something happened with the company where they didn't get something they thought it should have gotten. And, sometimes they just need somebody to coach them along. I remember when I was in direct sales from the very beginning, and I had a guy that I consider a mentor, a friend, and a coach to me. And every time something kind of catastrophic would happen, because as you get higher up, they say that more money, more problems. Sometimes that's true. You can have other complicated things that happen, but he would always give me such good insight and perspective that really helped me to squash things in my mind. As soon as they happen, I say, and I'd call him and we talk about it. And he said, don't even worry about that. Let me tell you what you're going to do. And that was so valuable. The truth is, nobody wants a boss, but everyone would like a mentor, a coach, a support, a cheerleader. Everybody wants that. But nobody wants somebody bossing them out. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to do this? You're going to do that? Nobody likes that. But people do like it when you're there to support them. And when you support them, you can hold them accountable. So communication with your group is very concerned, very important. So I wanted to mention that, but I also want to mention some of the communication that I typically have. Obviously, I do text groups. And one day I just decided to start calling people on my team that are leaders and asking them if they had a text group. And you know what? A lot of them did not have a text group. So that means I asked them, well, how are you getting text messages out? And they said, well, I just send one at a time. I said, oh, no. So check with your team and see if they have a text group to make sure that they're doing things efficiently and for their time as well, so that they don't have to send one at a time. So I do that, send out text groups. I have different text groups. I have a text groups of more people that are more customer focused, people that may have not as engaged right now, and I may send them one once a week. But if they're people that are building, I'm texting them every day, all kinds of encouragement, different trainings that I may do, a quick video that I do, I may send it out to them. As well as, of course, the call information just to remind them. So text messaging is very important. And everybody's communication style is different. Some people do text messaging. Some people do Facebook. Some people do, different groups. Like I have a Facebook group. I have a Facebook Messenger, so people can get that information very quickly. But on the Facebook groups, guys, I just want to let you know the algorithm is not as friendly as it used to be. So that one's a little bit tougher in order for people to see all your posts. And so that's some of the things I do. I also do have WhatsApp for like my for people in other countries. And also, so texting and all that's great. Emailing. I even sent out emails. My team will tell you I sent out emails, and there is a way to get everybody's email from your back office. Okay. So you go to organization, you go to reps, and you go to sponsor downline, and then you can see everybody's, you can see their email address, and you can even text people that maybe their upline fell off and you want to call them direct, you can. Okay. And then also, we have, let's see here. Oh, yeah. So that's a way that you can get additional information is from the back office. But yeah, guys, and you know something, I'm going to tell you the truth. Your team will tell you, and it happens, it's nothing personal, don't take it personal. They will tell you that they didn't know this or they didn't know that. Okay, so you can never communicate enough. People may say, well, I didn't know how the diamond bonus worked, or I didn't know how this worked or how that worked. You probably mentioned it as a leader 10 times, but they forgot about it. It wasn't important at the time when you told them. So you really have to over communicate so that they can remember at the time when it's important to them, so that they know and they're well informed. So I just try to keep people well informed, guys. And that's what I do. So Verdita, I just want to drop those couple of tips.
Wow,
Thank
Erica,
you.
thank you so
Thank you.
so much great information. And I'm going to stop the video right now. Let me say this because I want to, okay. I hope